The time has come once again. It's my favorite time of the week. It's the most special day of the week. It's podcast night live. Welcome to Wednesday Night Raw, aka On the Money Podcast, coming to you live from the epicenter of nostalgia mania here in Casa de Money, the mega powers of podcasting, bringing you another edition of On the Money Podcast. My name is Irrational, one half of the mega powers of podcasting.
I got you.
And alongside me, oh, that was your comment. Alongside me, as always, as we are slowly preparing all of our gimmicks and getting all that together, none other than Oscar O'Money Muniz.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live. We are in color. We are in the bright lights just before summer. And boogity woos, baby, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, it's On the Money Sports. It's Wednesday night. The Fighting Phils are on. But the two best podcasters in all of South Jersey bringing you the best in sports is right here. Ain't nobody better.
We're live, pal.
So don't change that channel. Get ready because it's an action-packed day.
Kick back, relax as everybody settles in, and I slowly share the video onto all of the pages that I have so that nobody misses a single second.
Yep.
Buying some time so that you can grab yourself a cold beer and we can get into it because it's an action-packed episode. It's one of those episodes where we're going to be going all around the world of sports. We're not going to stick to just one sport tonight because everything is happening. We have the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals. We have players reporting to OTAs and players not reporting to OTAs, as well as guys that are already missing practice after already reporting, which we will discuss at length. We have baseball. Shout out to the Sandlot Baseball Association as we go all around the major leagues, talk about some matchups, talk about some fantasy baseball matchups, and much, much more. On top of the fact that in my notes for tonight's podcast, because I'm always thinking about like you guys, when you guys are taking the time to watch us, I have a specific section off to the side here at the bottom, specifically for bold predictions. So no matter what the subject is tonight, no matter what we are talking about, you can go off the rails with a bold prediction that you have, whatever it is about whatever team in any sport. It could be a Marvel bold prediction. Let's put it like that. If you want to do because I know a lot of people, we watched X-Men, we're hyped up for more Marvel content. If you have a bold prediction about Marvel, it doesn't even have to be about sports. Drop the bold prediction. I'm going to write your name and the bold prediction next to it. I already have the date on the paper. It's just a way for us to keep track of all these bold predictions because we haven't even hit the summertime yet.
Can you put
and there's so
Giants 12-5 Matt every day?
That's the lead off of the bold. I was going to use that as the example. I'm taking Matt's bold prediction from last week in the baseball group chat when he went as far as to say that the New York Football Giants were going to go 12-5. I've been thinking about it every day since he said it. Not sure if he was just trying to screw with me or if he really believes that.
I think he's really believes it.
That is the headline bold prediction as of right now. And every week for podcast day, that's going to be.
Damn, I just noticed I got a freaking hole in my shirt.
That shirt's a couple drafts old. You're wearing the exclusive On the Money Sports draft shirt, which you are the commissioner of. That's the draft from, I believe, 3 years ago. Of course, it's not fantasy draft season for redraft leagues, but we are in the middle of dynasty draft season. And we, on Sunday, March 26th, are going to be drafting in our startup draft for our Kingpins Dynasty.
There we go.
League,
Mikey,
I'm very excited for. Mike D, what's up? I'm sitting next to one commish. The other commish has just checked in. None other than Mike D himself. We've got dates set for our fantasy football drafts at the end of the summer, but I don't have to wait that long to draft because this Sunday we are going to be drafting our teams. Super excited about that. I've got the 103 pick and the 110 pick, and I've got some theories as far as what I think may or may not happen, but we can save that. And then next week on this podcast, we'll have our teams drafted. Mike, get in the league. We have RJ. Well, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Well, what we're gonna do. All right. So, how's this? for the baseball league, what I've been wanting to do, since we have 10 right now, I've been wanting to extend it to 12. I'm not sure if all 10 are going to stay for next year in year 2 of Sandlot Baseball Association. But if they do, I'll make it 12, and I'll add Rick and Magoo. They will be the 11th and 12th men of the baseball league next
That'll
year.
be Rick grubbing me his first fantasy league
Oh, man.
together.
You think that league
I'm
chat
sorry,
is
Rick,
off the
one white
rails
guy
now?
per league.
Bro, adding him to that group chat would make it even more insane than it already is. Our baseball group chat has become the number one group chat of all of them. Now everything is happening in there. We're not just talking baseball there. It's a universal group chat that just happens to be a fantasy baseball league. And from time to time, we start talking fantasy baseball in there. But that's just how it is when you have the cast of characters that we have. Chris, what up? Me and Rick are in the middle of a battle right now in my other fantasy baseball league. My team the bats have been cold last couple of days in that league. Appreciate you, bro. Definitely appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying your time at the game. Hope you're enjoying your coffee at the game. Of course, you're right now watching the Phils live, going up against the defending World Series champion Texas Rangers. I appreciate you for pulling us up on your phone and keeping up with us as we go live, bro. Let's talk the wild NBA. Let's talk about it, man. It got pretty wild this
face
week.
for a sports team can be a new color.
That'd be freaking crazy.
This isn't WrestleMania 6. Is
Oh,
that match
man.
even in
I think they took
Peacock?
I think
they took that match out in that interview.
It was a little crazy. It doesn't age well. It doesn't age well at all. You have to walk around the airport like that.
Because Andre took the paint thinner out
Oh, wow.
and put all water in it.
Rick, who do you have as the NBA Finals prediction? Talking how wild the NBA is, let's talk about it. The Boston Celtics took game 1 in a crazy game. Like, the Pacers were up like 3 points with a limited amount of time left, very little time left. Celtics, Jaylen Brown, huge shot, taking it to overtime. A lot of people thinking that he could end up being the Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
It's one game. Come on, let's settle down.
Games like it was a pre-game 1 prediction that I saw, which it makes it interesting that he hits that big shot because it just adds to the legend that he could potentially walk out of the Eastern Conference Finals with the MVP for that side. Amazing game. What's going on, Paul? Everybody's checking in. I appreciate you guys. Pacers were up by 3 with 10 seconds left. My problem yesterday was that baseball and fantasy baseball fever has taken over. So it's like I haven't even been watching the basketball playoffs like I normally do.
I've been watching baseball.
I tuned in, of course, for the game 7s and saw what went down there. There was a rest period in between where there was no games as we got ready for the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. And then yesterday I was in the man cave where I will be drafting from, the war room. And yeah, bro, I had Big Inning on, and once that's on, it was a wrap, dude. We were talking shit in the group chat. I'm sitting there keeping up with my scores and my bets. I was living my best life. They should have won. Yeah. From the looks of it, they should have won. They had it in the bag. And,
yeah, man, if you're up 3 points, 10 seconds, like you can't let a 3-point shot get off.
You have a chance to steal home court.
And what about the ratio of free throws? They attempted twice as many free throws as the Pacers.
The Pacers were still outscored.
Are we about to have another inquisition on fouls and like the last series?
We got it. Hopefully, Eric at some point tunes in so he can give us the synopsis.
We're waiting for you, Eric. Matter of fact,
I was waiting for him. If the Pacers would have won, I was waiting for him to be like, "Yo, we lost on purpose, guys. Come on."
Yeah, we got to stretch it out.
We got to stretch it out. It's a novella, which just proves that people will say anything when the pressure is on. But nonetheless, it's a huge win for Boston because this is one of those things where it's a huge letdown on the other side for Indiana. Because if you're Indiana, like, you know, you have the game, you're that close to just closing it out, and then you lose it.
Rick Carlisle sending the tapes in as we speak.
Oh, yeah, the 78 complaints, maybe 79 this time around. Rick saying Celtics versus Wolves. Wolves are an amazing underdog champion. And that's where we're headed now, because here are the two storylines that are forming right before our eyes, right after what just happened this weekend. Number one, the Wolves just took out the freaking champs. The Wolves just took out the Denver Nuggets, the world champion Nuggets. So there's going to be a new champion declared this year, no matter what happens. Now,
no matter what,
are the Timberwolves?
No matter what,
are the Timberwolves the team of destiny, or do the Boston Celtics finally close out a freaking finals?
I don't want to hear no hate speech from any Boston fan right now. But what I'm about to say is the 100% truth. Truth that's greater than anything you'll ever hear. This is the easiest path to another Boston Celtic championship that they will ever have in the next couple of years. All the chips have aligned for them. There is absolutely no excuse for Boston to not come out of these playoffs as the NBA champion.
You got to close. But then again, it's like, have they seen anything?
Your toughest matchup just got ousted. These guys are riding high right now.
The toughest matchup might be in the West.
The entire time I watched this series, all I kept thinking about when I would watch Anthony Edwards and the limited action that I watch some of this stuff, because it comes on so damn late and I work in the morning, was I just kept thinking about the movie Hustler. When Anthony Edwards' character keeps whispering in the Spanish dude's ear and just keeps talking mad. I can picture him going to Jokic and be like, "You ready to go to Cancun, bro?"
They
Because
are
I'm sending you home.
A problem. They might not have looked good during the regular season all the time, but you get them in the playoffs and you are locked in a steel cage with this team. They ousted in Game 7 the defending world champions. Mikey poses the question, out of the 4 teams left, which team would you like to see to win the championship?
It would probably be the Timberwolves.
And also, which team or player has the best storyline?
I know, Russ, you're going to be listening to this, but I'm sorry, Russ.
Ever since the Timberwolves won Game 6, which I didn't think they were going to win.
I'll take that walk. Let's go for my own base percentage.
I think that ever since the Wolves won Game 6, they became the best storyline out of the teams that were left. This is before Game 7s were played or anything like. They became the best storyline. Because all of a sudden you're asking yourself, like, yo, can they do it? And on Sunday, they proved, yeah, we can. We can beat Denver, and we can pretty much beat everybody who's left with the way that they're playing basketball right now. And I know that everybody, the East Coast fans, New York and Philly for the first time are aligning because both of them would love nothing more than to see the Boston Celtics once again fall short. If there's one thing everybody celebrates together, it's a team losing. That's New York and Philly right there. And me, I'm not rooting against the Celtics. I'm a big Jason Tatum fan. Everybody knows
I like Jaylen Brown more than I like Jason Tatum.
I like Brown. I like Tatum. I like what they've done out there. I like how they've been able to once again put themselves in this position to do it. But now it's a question of, can you actually do it?
Chapman just homered again.
Chapman, damn, dude. My bats are cold, bro. These last 2 days against you, my bats have been super cold. I'm hoping that changes. Anthony Edwards can be the NWO of the league. He's already doing the DX suck it chops and everything. But it's
you saw my GIF I found of him?
It's Anthony Edwards. It's the contributions from Karl Anthony Towns and Gobert and having those two giants down there. It's contributions from Naz Reid and Mike Conley. There's just a lot of levels to that basketball team. So I feel like the only team left that matches up well with them is the Boston Celtics. Like, the Mavericks don't play defense. You know, like the Wolves just beat the only team on the Western side that could put up a defensive type of a match.
I work with an older gentleman at work I work with a couple older gentlemen. The one is George. George is an avid basketball guy, loves basketball. He played basketball in high school and all that. He's also huge in college football. Like, he's big time.
Yeah.
He comes up to me and goes, so how many times do you think Luka's going to go to the ref and complain today?
I'll put that one up because that's a good that ties into what you're talking about, because I see them both going up to the refs a lot.
He goes, I go, damn, George. He goes, well, every time the guy, misses a shot, goes to the basket, he just looks at the referee, and
every time he gets fouled, it's just like, what did I do? Like, what did I do? How did I get fouled? What up, Eric? What's going on, bro? Glad you're tuned in. We literally just got started not too long ago. Luka and Jokic are going to look to team up one day somewhere. So, no Jokic to NY. Sorry, Mike.
Jamal Murray said playing with Jokic is toxic.
When did he say this?
I'm gonna have to look into this because Jamal Murray's an idiot for saying that.
Oh, Chris is saying F the Pacers. So not everybody in New York is on board with seeing the Boston Celtics lose.
So Elon is Doncic of the fantasy. You know what I mean? But every time you look up at Luka, he's
not in the league we're in together, bro. I'm more like the in Brawlers. I'm like the LaMelo Ball. I'm the Hornets of that league right now, and just hoping to turn shit around for myself. Hopefully. Phillies game? Eric, you're at the Phillies game too?
Then I understand.
F the Pacers, F the Celtics.
However, like Noli's watching us. You could be watching us.
Shout out to Noli. Shout out to
You should have had a fully charged battery.
Hope you guys are enjoying the game. You gotta have the old pack.
F the Pacers.
Yeah.
F the Celtics.
Yeah, this is news to me. I didn't know. I knew about, like, because you see, like, you know, Joker and Luka, they're best of friends. They're having their little shooting contests and always like messing
that,
around.
Big chopped cheese.
Always messing around. So we know that a partnering between them in the distant future could happen. But like right now, the Mavericks are paying buku bucks to keep Luka where he is. So the most realistic situation would be Jokic joining forces with Luka in Dallas. And I mean, why would the Nuggets allow that? You know, like, it's very interesting take from Murray to say what he said, because
Murray will be gone before Jokic is gone.
We all know Jokic loves his horses, and it's almost like the NBA is like secondary to him, because he's one of those guys that he's like me. I treat my job like a job, and then I have plenty of hobbies that I just immerse myself in to keep me like I don't.
So when you're home, you don't think about your job
at all. I'm sometimes
I only
I'm
think
at my
about
job,
my
not
job
even
when,
about
when
my
I'm
job.
just trying to let loose before I get in.
I'm thinking.
I'll
about
sit
the
in
money.
my car about 10 minutes before I walk in the house, because I just don't want to bring that energy with me inside.
I'm thinking about the money, and the minute I leave that place, all that shit stays there besides the money. So Jokic might just have that approach to basketball, where it's one of those things where it's like, hey, we lost, you know, we were the champs last year. What up, Seth?
Sign the hat!
What's
Seth,
going on, bro?
I know things look bleak right now, but we have an entire summer, bro.
Don't give up.
You can turn it around,
up,
dog.
Dude. You can Hulk up, and you can still make a tremendous comeback. Nobody give up. Facts. The minute I'm clocked out, fuck that town. I hear you, bro. And Jokic is looking at it like, you know, it's a job. We won last year. We lost this year. I'm about to go back to my horses. Like, I'm good. Like, we don't have to come to practice tomorrow, I guess.
He doesn't worry about that.
And, you know, and Murray was in the middle
Seth, defend yourself. Not this week, but you can still turn around.
This
week,
I told Matt.
Take out the revenge against his brother.
Yeah, take it out on Mikey.
What a way to just...
Take it out on Mikey so he can drop in our division.
Come on.
Go, Seth. And Matt, next week you can turn things around. Not this week. Wait till next week. Let me do my thing right now. What am I defending?
What am I defending?
So your baseball team.
Your baseball team.
You gotta Hulk up. You gotta shake
There's
the ropes.
plenty of time to
back.
change. You can.
Yeah. You got it.
You can do it.
Glad that you're tuned in, bro. Appreciate you. Sandlot Baseball Association is in.
I mean, the biggest news of the week was Drewski making the bold declaration in the group chat that Sundays will be freeing up and he will venture.
Yeah.
Here.
I told you guys how this was going to go. Yeah, we thought you were just messing around.
You know, Drewski is going to be at the On the Money Sports Lounge a couple Sundays out of the year for the NFL, and we are more than ready to host him.
It'll be a good time. Get ready to eat some cheesesteaks, buddy. Get ready to eat some cheesesteaks.
That is one thing you don't do, Seth. That is one thing you don't do.
I'm glad he's going to be around. I'm looking forward to that.
But you can still change it around.
This coming season. But One thing that I'm looking at for next season, as far as the NBA goes, is the last season of TNT basketball and Inside the NBA, the best sports talk show in
So
existence right
here's
now.
what I gotta say.
And the NBA is finalizing media rights deal with ESPN, NBC, and Amazon later this week. So 2024-25 will be the last season for Inside the NBA.
Before I get into Chris's comment, it appears Warner Brothers is not going to attempt to match NBC's bid.
It's a crazy deal.
NBC's bid is twice as much as what TNT was offering. However, I don't see that being the end of that group.
No.
I can see a scenario where Shaq and them go to NBC.
They buy the group.
I could see it.
Whew, that would be a power move. I mean, you're spending so much money for the rights, right? Go for the best damn sports talk show on
Here's
TV.
what I tell people. What use is Shaq, Charles, and Kenny for TNT without basketball?
Yeah, what are you guys going to even do?
Ernie's a different story.
He does,
Ernie's a different story because of baseball.
he does college. And also Chuck and Kenny do college.
So do I believe? I think the four of them are going to be on it. If the four of them aren't on NBC, I can see them being on ESPN. There's no way you're going to let that group disband.
NBC doesn't.
Those executives see all of that. They know that they are the most popular pregame show when it comes to basketball. They are the reason why people tune in to watch the basketball game more than the actual matchup itself.
Yeah, there must be TV. Ernie is too loyal to TNT.
So can I see? I can see, and if Ernie doesn't go there, it's going to be the three of them and Bob Costas. Costas he's got personality.
We could be seeing
because there's talks that the NBC isn't done yet. They might want to get baseball too when the time comes.
Well, we could be seeing at least three of the guys together, and Ernie potentially being the guy that's not there, which would suck.
I just don't see an executive, the NBC, that saying we gotta, screw it. You can create separate contracts or something. I think it'd be foolish.
Make it work.
It'd be foolish on NBC. It'd be foolish on ABC. It'd be foolish on ESPN not to get that group together again.
Make that shit work. Figure out a way. I know there have to have at least been some preliminary conversations about it.
There has to.
But
remember when Sunday Night Football became a thing?
Yes.
When the NFL turned Sunday Night Football into remember Monday Night Football was the end-all be-all, and ESPN Sunday Night Football was just like, meh. And then they switched it in that new contract. Remember who worked for ABC was Al Michaels and John Madden. They got traded to NBC. So I can picture something happening of that status.
Does history repeat itself? And do we potentially see that same thing happen again? Ernie is that show.
To go off of that,
he's the lead. You know what I mean? He's the lead guy. He's he's controlling everything because the other three wouldn't be able to. The show would fall off the rails. Imagine Chuck being the lead guy, just talking shit the whole time, bro.
And then on top of that, they've already contacted John Tish.
I didn't know that.
About the original NBA theme song. He's already said he's begun re-recording it for to get ready for the Olympics. NBC planned on using it for the Olympics.
Yeah.
He also said there is a chance we've already begun dialogue since they most likely are getting the NBA back. He goes, and people may want a new song, but I'm excited they still think that highly of my song.
Well, it doesn't sound like the group chat.
Nice to get right to the point, Seth.
It doesn't sound like the feed so far is thinking that this group is going to move anywhere. This could be potentially the last year of Inside the NBA.
They got to bring it to NBC. Who on NBC who are they gonna sign, dog?
Isaiah
Paul
Thomas.
Pierce?
I was gonna say Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson.
I don't want that.
They just want to play the old theme song one more time. Have the Sunday after. Now they're talking about doing Sunday night basketball
as soon as
when the football season is over. So we're gonna be
beautiful move.
We're gonna be getting Sunday night basketball now. A lot of West Coast teams, most likely.
Well,
you know?
Wawa just missed that.
He's been a little bit of a
Wawa just missed that.
A little bit of a struggle for my boy. It's kind of like when you first don the pinstripes for the first time. It's gonna go one or two ways.
Allen Iverson, you think Chuck would be crazy? No, I do not want Ahmad Rashad. No,
Ahmad Rashad, bro. I used to watch his show faithfully, dude. It wasn't even for him. For a little while as a kid, I thought he was Magic Johnson. I had to be smartened up. I was like, wait, they're two different people. What?
Replying to stuff. Let's go. Football season's coming, Seth.
Yes, it is.
Once football season's locked and loaded, absolutely. I mean, everybody knows. I send my invites to select few. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't open my house out to everyone.
Come through for the draft.
But Seth, my home's open to you all the time, bro. Your family.
Just pull an Andrew and just come through and hang out for the draft itself, like he did that one time. He was blown away by just watching.
Paul, you're right, and that would be a terrible. That's just, in the words of my man Chuck, that's just terrible.
So Van Gundy would take the role of Chuck.
Well, listen, his brother's taking heat from ESPN. I guess he's been removed from broadcast because ESPN, the NBA got mad about how critical Van Gundy was with them.
They speak their mind, and I like that. And they catch heat for what they say, both of them, because they're both the same in that aspect where it's like they're going to call bullshit live on the air and kind of just say whatever they want. They use their creative control on the mic.
Reggie Miller,
you put a Reggie
Miller does the same thing on TNT, though.
You put a microphone in front of certain people, and you know the risks that are involved. You know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's no different than putting
it's like putting a live mic on the late, great Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
You knew what was
recording
coming.
Him all day. Just recording him all day, bro. Do Bird and Magic in the studio. They'll not that they're gonna do Bird and Magic, but they'll probably try to do something of that grandeur to get eyes on the product, at least for the first couple months while they can. Like, hey, we'll pay you for a couple weeks. Just it's one of those things.
Hey, but you know what's cool about it? Basketball's gonna be on a national television scale to where, honestly, like a lot of people have been cutting cable. If you have an antenna, which I know is archaic. But there's a lot of digital HD people. There's a lot of people out there that have digital HD antennas where they just get their locals. You could watch freaking basketball again.
Yeah.
That's going to bring in 2 runs. JT is having a night.
Yeah, he is. I know that little Jimmy's got to be happy about that. That's his boy right there, catcher, JT. As the Phillies take an 8-3 lead over the Texas Rangers. Yankees up 5-0 on the Mariners. Earlier today, we had the Cardinals beat the Orioles. The Guardians come back and beat the Mets. The Royals beat up on the Tigers.
He's just the ball looks like a volleyball right now to him.
Oh, yeah, he can't miss right now. His confidence level's through the
roof. Nolly's sleep in the bleachers.
Twins beat the Nationals, and the Angels take the series away from the Astros. The Angels have now won back-to-back series. Not sweeps, but wins.
The Astros are terrible.
They were starting to turn it around, but this
all
series
Philly fans understand it's not going to be like this all year.
Well, eventually
there's going to come a time where all these teams, including the Yankees, including the Dodgers, you know, they're gonna go through their 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 8 spells where they lose. So don't start jumping off ship. Every solid team will have that lull of couple games.
It's coming.
It's how you get out of it.
Got a belated birthday wish from your cousin.
Thank you.
He had his coffee, so he's good to go. Chris's bold prediction.
Just for everybody to know, everybody who wished me a happy birthday yesterday, It was so many of you, so I just wrote that one post. Your boy's 41 years old. I'm in the prime of my life. I remember when I was in my 20s, like, damn, I'm on 40s, I'm going to be old. And you know what? Life is just starting, bro. Life is just starting.
Yankees versus Phillies, World Series.
So, again, thank you all that wished me a happy birthday. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
How was your birthday, man?
It was good. I worked because I'd rather just do what I do on Saturday this weekend.
Yeah, I feel you. So Chris with the
I'll take that walk from Harper. That helps my on base percentage.
Chris with the World Series prediction of
You wrote it down?
Phillies. I wrote it down. It's here, right next to Matt's prediction of the Giants going 12-5.
Right, Paul. All teams go through a slump. Don't be a homer and bail. You'll be good.
It's part of baseball, man. It's part of the game.
Rick, I will be there.
Big toy show.
Now, Rick, are you going to both? Are you going to be at Farpoint and then go to Richland? Or are you going to Richland first and then to Farpoint?
You're going to find some good stuff out there. You guys looking for anything in particular? Or just
I am still
perusing.
I am still looking for Masters of the Universe Origins figure, Whiplash and Stratos, who I still don't have. I had to settle for the new Stratos that came out. He's in my pile of loot waiting to be shipped to my house. And I'm going to listen, X-Men 97 got the itch back for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the hunt for some X-Men books.
Just go back, read the stories.
I just bought all of...
Because you want to know what's coming now.
I bought every issue of the whole Fatal Attraction storyline. And I bought the trade paperback. So I'm going to get bags and boards, put all those in bags and boards, protective cases. And I'm going to use the trade paperback I bought and read from that.
Nice. What's up, Julio?
But yeah, I'm looking for stuff. I'm looking not a lot.
Always Richland, then Farpoint.
All right.
So
maybe that's what I should do.
Rick already has his rotation figured out as far as
I do know Sean is going to be selling stuff at the Richland location.
Nice.
So I'll check out what he's got.
That's been my prediction the last 2 years. Oh gosh, my prediction this year is Rangers and Giants, and then my prediction last year was Padres Yankees. So I've been all over the map.
I think I predicted Phillies Yankees this year.
Phillies Yankees. It's looking more like a reality than in a few years. It feels like with the way both teams are playing. Baltimore
drop.
Wow. Baltimore losing definitely helps us. Schwarber just got me a nice little run. And the Phillies are now up 10-3 on the Texas Rangers.
This team's different this year, though. Normally, I'd be like, damn, they scored all these runs. Tomorrow, they're not going to do nothing. This is a different team this year.
Well, Texas, this offseason, I think that if they would have devoted a little more time to focusing on their bats instead of focusing on pitching so much, they probably have more wins at this point. I think they went a little too hard with the pitching and forgot about.
Now, like 15 minutes later, after Chris made his comment, earlier today, my son was the one who actually dropped the bomb on me about the city of Pittsburgh hosting the 2026 NFL draft. I'm going. My wife wants to go, so I'm guessing maybe bringing the kids. It appears Mike's down to go. It looks like Chris is down to go.
I might make that. That trip.
So it might be live. A lot of us. I know you don't buy tickets if it still does it the way it did in Philly, because you have to like sign up and then they'll send you an email. And if you get selected, you'll get tickets to like whatever round. Like the 1 year that I did it for Philly, I got offered rounds 4 through 7.
Yeah.
But I had to work, so I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Right.
I already know the 3 locations are, we already like I show you, it's going to be one, the stadium. There's going to be a lot going on in the stadium. There's going to be at the spot that we were at before the game. The stage.
I saw like the Titans fans that were all coming up to me.
Yeah. The stage where we got beers and the
yeah, and
the girls got the mac and cheese and all that.
Yeah,
it's going to be in that area, and then there's one more area that they're going to be doing.
Don't twist my arm. Heather liked Pittsburgh, so I may talk to her about potentially making the
I
second.
went to go
cameo
see if
out
they're
there.
selling hotels now, but they're not because you can't get a hotel that far out. So Crystal said the moment that they release information that, hey, get your hotel now, we're immediately going to start booking.
Does
I'll
anybody
put it on my credit card that way. I don't gotta stress about other stuff.
Does anybody know where next year's draft is? Is it in Las Vegas, or is that something that I just made up in my mind?
I think you might be right, dude.
I might have vaguely
Because
remembered
Detroit
hearing,
was,
but I just don't remember for the life of me. Because when I saw the 2026 announcement for you guys, that's the next thing that I thought. I was like, oh, it's gonna be in Pittsburgh 2026. Then I was like, hold on, what happens next year? Like, where is it going down next year? I was just curious.
Titletown.
Oh, in Green Bay?
Yeah.
Green Bay, no Lisa. Okay. All right. This will be interesting.
That is interesting.
You're gonna have everybody sit on bleachers?
Green Bay is normally still cold at that time. Look at Terrell, don't twist my arm. I think a lot of us might be making that trip out
is
there.
Is that our first field trip?
There's
Pittsburgh, bro.
There's plenty of areas too that even if you can't get in the area where they announce, when I took Elon, there's bars at every corner around that spot.
There's a bunch of places to eat.
Yeah,
I loved it. There was places to eat everywhere. I was like, yeah, that the spot that we went to have the last night before we left, where we had
the IPA beer restaurant.
I like that. It's a little spot right there. That was cool.
We're like a half hour behind. Yeah, okay. Well, I want the wings. I want this. I want that. I was like, oh shit.
I just finished my beer and the time it took for you to make this order. So if you just grab me another one when you have a chance, we will wait. We are chilling.
That blueberry beer I had was pretty damn good.
You know what it was?
It was all IPAs. They didn't sell any domestics in there.
Because with you and me, the trip to Pittsburgh, even the ride back, it's like we have all the stories. So it's just like being on the road with the clique. You were just telling all the stories.
Now imagine all of us together. Yo, we can rent a passenger van.
Mm-hmm.
One big ass van. Rent a Greyhound.
No, I was not disappointed this past draft with what the Titans did. We are now 2 years removed from the AJ Brown incident, so I'm a little more optimistic compared to, I guess, I couldn't even call it disappointed, straight traumatized by their past transgressions. But those people aren't here anymore. So
that was a good draft pick this year.
Yeah, I like this year's draft. I was happy with what we did so far this year. I'm just excited to see what the product is going to look like on the field with a head coach that, this guy knows offense. He knows offense. So I'm just excited to see what it
is that like. Official, Noli?
MLB All-Star Game will be in Philly 2026 also. Damn,
how is it 22 years later?
Busy year.
This ballpark opened up in 2004. It should have been hosted.
I feel like they've done it in Seattle 4 times in the last 2 years.
This ballpark was, it's still relatively new.
Yeah.
It's 22 years old. What? No. 22 years old.
Just do it at ballparks where people
it's 20 years old, but it'll be 22 years old in 2 years when it hosts that game.
Just do it in ballparks where fans actually go to watch. Because there's a lot of places around the country like Tampa where I guess the people of Tampa have better things to do than to go watch a baseball game.
It's always in Camden Yards too, I feel like sometimes.
Camden Yards, Seattle,
baseball
California.
Towns. Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field.
Boston's a great place to go.
Or they should get another one because it's Wrigley Field. And the Cubs are decent this year. Their fans are hyped up. They're singing their end of the game Cubs song. So
Corey Seager with another home run.
Damn, I wish that was Simeon. Whoever has Corey Seager, you just got to bomb.
The World Cup is in Philly too. No. Now we're just making shit up.
It's just getting out of hand now. We got to find truth. We got to figure out the truth from the fiction before this shit falls off the rails.
2026 sports locations. We're gonna find out right now.
If you're tuned in with us right now, you're watching the podcast, do us a favor, give us a share, repost it, get some more eyes on the product, get some more people in the comment section so we can get some more feedback. Mikey was serious, by the way. He wasn't joking around
right now.
World Cup is going down in Philly. That is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Like, that's a different type of energy out
Lincoln
there.
Financial Field, yeah.
You're going to be hearing Eagles chants.
MetLife Stadium.
mid-soccer
Oh,
game.
so the 2026, not only is MetLife going to have it, but so is the Lincoln Financial.
Yeah, MetLife can seat like 100,000 if they want to, right?
Yeah, I was there for
WrestleMania.
Yep. I'm seeing twice in a lifetime.
Championship finals will be played at MetLife Stadium. Is that your bold prediction, Julio? Because I'm writing them down tonight. I don't know if you were here for that part. I'm writing down early bold predictions. The preseason bold predictions are going down in my notebook. Is your prediction that the Jets
so
are
the
going
reason why the Phillies are
to the
getting the
AFC
All-Star
Championship?
game is it'll be the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Good. Ben Franklin will be there. He can ring the
The
bell
guy
himself.
from The Office.
Dwight thought he was real.
Yeah.
I know it's not the real Ben Franklin. That shit was eating him up inside, dog.
Yeah, well, I know it.
Good shit. Well, it's going to be a busy time period these next couple of years. It's basically how it feels now. And like sports now is every single day. And it's looking like the next couple of years with the venues and the events that are going to be going down close by, like it's great opportunity
You
for
got
some
the
photo
freaking-
ops and some
The golf
field
course
trips.
being built up the street.
Oh yeah. There's one more thing I can,
Which is gonna supposedly it's a PGA golf tour. It's gonna be in like that style.
Oh, it's gonna be official. I gotta put on the glove.
Learn.
And buy
I heard
myself
the membership there is insane.
I gotta buy
how much
myself
it's gonna
a-
cost, and it's invite only. I think
all right.
you didn't get hit.
I'll pretend to know somebody when we go into the room
Hey.
where they go to have sandwiches. I'm like, Julius, you sly dog. With my
I'm gonna walk in and be like this. Shooter McGavin
a $70 polo from Dick's
with the
Sporting
sweater
Goods.
wrapped around, the polo hat,
No, thank you. I have my own caddy.
looking like Kermit White.
I am my own caddy, as a matter of fact. I'll carry my things. Don't worry. I'll Happy Gilmore this bad boy.
What's your name? Happy. Last name
He
Gilmore.
said, green jacket, gold jacket. Who gives a shit?
As long as it pays me.
Oh, the World Cup final is going to be at MetLife Stadium. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
Well, at least the championship will take place in that stadium.
Oof. That's how you kill two birds with one stone. And Jets, I'll see you week 2 because we take on the Jets week 2 early on in the year.
2026 should be a fun year, man, and I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea we all go out there.
It's plenty of time to game plan.
We can actually assess and find out how much a damn tour bus would be, and then we can all split the cost. Now, where we stay at, y'all better figure that out. We're all adults. We'll figure out the ride there. You're adults, figure out the room.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be good.
Because I know what hotel I want.
There's plenty of stuff to do.
I want the DoubleTree by Hilton on Mansfield Avenue that gives me a free warm cookie whenever I want it. And the free breakfast buffet.
I want a place that is across the street from food places, like similar to what we had for our last visit. Like, I just want to go across the street, grab myself a burger at 2 a.m, and
that place.
Good. Like, Sauce Gardner locking down Tyler, not T. Higgins, Boyd. Well, according to sources, Sauce Gardner is going to start shadowing wide receiver ones this year. So we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of rumor and innuendo coming out of New York, like there always is when it comes to the teams. So we don't know for sure. All we know is Aaron Rodgers is going to be healthy. He is going to be back in the mix as the starting quarterback for the New York Football Jets, and that the Tennessee Titans and the Jets are clashing week 2, which that might be the first time we play each other since I met you, Julio. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's our first matchup against each other. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to week 1 against the Bears. Shit. You know, there's stuff coming out of Tennessee, and of course they're in their own way, you know, taking shots because there's just that bitterness that's there from the past that you just can't let go of. Because when you're a sports writer for a certain team, guess what? You're a fan of that team. Hate to break it to you, because you're following this team all around. And they're saying that apparently so far in one day they've seen more passing than in the first week of other regimes up until this point. So that's their way of just everybody who was here before. You're getting the up-to-date offense that everybody's been waiting for. Now it's just a question of how that's going to translate.
That's what they've been saying in Pittsburgh.
Well, careful what you wish for, because now you're going to get it. So it's going to be
one of the players,
and then they're going to complain. It's like, oh, they take too much chances. Well, you know what? You wanted this kid to air it out. Well, it's looking like that's what he's going to do.
In Pittsburgh, they were like, one of the players said, like, this feels so much more professional, this playbook. If that ain't an indictment, then I don't know what is.
Backhands. You get a new guy in a new position.
That the quarterback is more helpful.
33-27 Wolves. And speaking of the Titans real quick, I may as well drop my bold prediction. Some of you, as you may know, I've got the bet going with Matt. It's Will Levis versus Danny Dimes.
Total touchdowns,
which includes rushing touchdowns with the passing. But on top of that, I'm going to double down on my belief in this kid for year 2. I don't know what happens after this. The waters could get murky season 3, and there could be some regression. But I'm saying just for year 2, Will Levis will be the first Tennessee Titan quarterback to surpass that 4,000-yard passing mark. If there was ever a point in time that was going to happen, it would be now. When we are finally no longer living under the identity of run-first football team, which was the identity that we've been living under for
as a hit from my own base percentage.
I don't know, like 4 decades. Ever since Earl Campbell, we've been the run-first football team. So that's my prediction. I think he can potentially throw for 4,000. I know that if I was to put the bet in now for that, the cash out for that would be very nice. Very, very nice. And, I'm all in on what this kid can do. We'll see. I criticized him for the mayo and the coffee. Still don't agree with it. Still don't like the idea.
DeAndre Hopkins didn't get cut. I'm surprised.
No, we got D-Hop. And until proven otherwise, he is the wide receiver 1. But from the film that I've seen so far, Calvin Ridley's the fastest dude on the field. Like, everybody's running their routes, and he's running his route. Like, it's a different type of speed with Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I still understand why. I think
he was only behind. He was only behind Evan Ingram.
Davis turned out to be cheaper for them than re-signing Calvin Ridley.
Well, now, I mean, if you have Evan Ingram, congratulations to you, because he is wide receiver 1 in Jacksonville. We're not going to play. No. We're not going to play.
Christian Kirk is still wide receiver number 1.
It's very close. It's very close between the two.
He's had over 1,000-yard seasons.
Evan gets the targets, and Evan was getting people to fantasy championships.
I was eating yesterday at Applebee's. Another question I seen, like, I know it's not related to the subject, is Mike Evans going to get another 1,000-yard season?
I mean, why not? I think so.
And they were praising Baker.
He gets nothing less, right? Like, when's the last time he got less to the towel?
I was funny just reading Baker's stat line for last year. 9-8, the touchdowns, the interceptions, and defeated the 2022 NFC champions in the wild card round.
Wolves in 6, and then they lose to the Celtics in the NBA Finals. Okay, so you think Dallas takes them 6, and then the Celtics finally cash in on that long-awaited championship, which I'll be happy for Jason Tatum, honestly, if they win the championship. Like, because I've been watching them since the beginning, when they were going up against those LeBron Cavalier teams, and they were showing those flashes of, like, this
his
is
rookie year when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
This is all,
and that was with Kyrie hurt.
This is all his.
Remember, Kyrie was hurt and he couldn't play,
and that young Celtics team did it without him.
They took it to Game 7, didn't they?
Yeah, bro. They were balling, dude. And, Cavs eventually won the series. But at that moment, you saw, like, the Celtics team, they got a bright future. And not only has it been a bright future, it's been constantly Eastern Conference Finals, second-round exit. But now the big question is, can you guys break through that glass ceiling of the Eastern Conference Finals and get yourselves into the NBA Finals? You know, what it would mean for that group of players, what it would mean for Bradley, who took the step back from head coach to, you know, GM and kind of just, you know, pulling all the strings, what it would mean for the Celtics franchise, you know, as that would be championship number 19 for them, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. I hate you.
Like, it would be a big freaking deal. And for Boston fans to, you know, because for them, it's got to suck. It's like Boston, you and your fans, like, you know, every year you are at worst the second best team in the East. You already know this. You already know. You've had a championship team year in and year out. And
Right
every single year you fall short of the goal. Oh, okay, 18. Sorry. This would be banner number 18 for the Boston Celtics. Every year you fall short from your goal. And, you know, every year in that same spot, Eastern Conference Finals or second round, you're a Celtics fan, and you just those doubts start to creep into your mind where it's like, okay, we're here again, but like,
are we gonna win?
Like, is this it? Or when things start to go bad as a fan, do you just recognize the pattern and say to yourself, well, here we go, like, here it comes. You know, like, how many Super Bowls did the Bills have to lose before Bills fans were like, oh, like, it's happening. It's happening again. My guess would be like by the third one, you're just living in a time warp at that point. Like, that's just freaking terrible. Live look at the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Timberwolves in game 1, 37-32 Minnesota. Impressed by both teams to make it to this point. You know, I expected the Nuggets to be here, and then it was like an insert team here type of thing when it came to who was going to be facing them. I don't remember what my original prediction was to take on the Denver Nuggets.
I had the Nuggets repeating, so I lost.
I had the Nuggets in the finals. I just don't remember what my Final Four was.
It wasn't the Bucks, was it?
Celtics, maybe. Was it Celtics Sixers? Celtics Sixers, or I think it was. I think it was Celtics Sixers and then Nuggets and somebody. I'm not sure. I'll find that book somewhere like 6 months from now.
There's no way you put the Sixers to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I gave them the push. I booked them strong because of how strongly I believed in the Bucks falling apart. And I said to myself, somebody has to come out of this.
If the Sixers had played the Bucks in the first round, the Sixers probably would have beaten the Bucks.
Yeah, like I said to myself, because of the Bucks' downfall, some team is going to shine. I picked Philly, and then I also put my insurance bet of I also believe that the Cavs or the Knicks are going to have that breakthrough season. One of those two. And we saw it from New York. You know what I mean? Eventually things just overwhelmed them, and we got what we got. And Reggie Miller is a happy man. I think they called it. They might have called it. I don't know. Not foul.
I don't think he was ready for that.
That was a defensive foul.
Yeah, he wasn't set up, see?
Because of the contact. I'm getting better at learning how to read some of these calls because of how much basketball I watched with the sports betting.
Well, yeah.
Like, I'm getting better. Even the bullshit calls, I'm like, that was bullshit, but I know what he's about to call. Like, that terrible call, but I knew they were going to give him
thought they were getting rid of that whole bullshit shot call where you're shooting and landing into somebody. I thought they were going to call.
There's only so much you can control. They eliminated flopping. So I've been seeing a lot less flopping, but that doesn't eliminate the throwing up of the hands, which it's not flopping. It's just the contact, no matter how slight, you throw your hands up, blown whistle. That's just, they already know. They're not even looking for the shot, bro. They just have to look like they were going to shoot it. That's it. That's the secret. Look like you were attempting the shot, and it doesn't matter if you were or you weren't. It's what you can prove in court. That's it.
They took out the leg kick.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Mikey, good stuff. That's what
Julio,
it was.
Sixers would have finally got to the conference final. Embiid stayed healthy. They were balling when he went down. Him going down elevated Maxey, though, making him a real deal number 2.
Well,
Well, all rumor
He had his good and his
innuendo
bad. He had his good and his bad days.
is the Sixers are all in on Paul George.
Oh, get excited. It's you guys never learn. There's a plethora of options.
And we're going to go with Paul George.
And I can't wait for Philly fans to hype him up like he's never been hurt.
That's the problem.
I can't wait for it.
You already got a guy who's hurt all the time. Why would you go sign another guy who's injury
Great deal.
prone?
Great move by Philly.
For that matter, go put all your eggs in a basket.
You know
go get LeBron James.
You know what Here's what he say. Oh, he's a better option than Tobias.
Well, he is.
And that's going to be the argument. Yeah, but when he ain't on the court, it don't matter. If he ain't on the court, and hey, let's not forget about the PG meltdowns, right? He's had several of them. If the Knicks and Sixers fully healthy, we would have swept them.
No, you wouldn't have. Not gonna.
I love it. Sixers better not give him
Bro,
a
you're
max
about
deal.
to trade half your team for Devin Booker.
The only way they're going to get Paul George is by giving him a max deal. What do you think they're going to lowball Paul George? He has other options. He's going to have other options. And I'm pretty sure Philly is not going to be his first choice.
Yep.
Everybody knows that place is a shit show.
I would rather trade for Brandon Ingram.
Interesting.
A younger player.
Pieces. But how many pieces can you get around an Embiid where you don't even know how many more years he has left in the
this
was an MVP caliber type of year.
Here's my bold prediction.
Oh, here we go.
Here's one of them. I'm gonna make a lot throughout the year.
Okay. I got the section for it.
The Sixers need to get a backup center that is capable to not put up Embiid numbers, but good numbers. Can't be another Baton, Paul Reed. When they had Andre Drummond at work, if the Sixers don't get a viable backup center, and I'm talking a guy who's going to pick up minutes and score and rebound, they're getting eliminated in the first round again.
What up, Drew? Sixers getting eliminated first round.
If they do not get a bona fide backup center who's going to score and get boards.
Money. Legit center.
Because you can make everything else work around. Embiid's going to get hurt.
First round exit. Legit center or first round exit for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Backup center.
I put legit center. Because that you can have a legit backup center. Just a legit center. Somebody who can come in and what Drummond did, getting 8 rebounds in 5 minutes type shit.
They should have never let that guy go. That guy he's still consistent, bro.
Yeah, he's getting 14 rebounds a game still. It's all he knows.
Let him. That's what they need.
All he knows. Well, he's with the Bulls now, but he may not be with the Bulls next year. He could be available again. I'm not really sure what his situation is with Chicago, but he's going to be one of those low-cost role players that, wherever he goes, he's going to get you extra possessions. That's for sure.
2024.
So we talked about the Sixers. What does the future hold for the New York Knicks? Mike, do you have any?
They're going to trade away half their team for Devin Booker.
Are you guys really going to go for Devin Booker? Are you going to throw your hat in the Devin Booker sweepstakes? And are you going to spend like a New York team spends to get the player that you want? At this point in time, it said Devin Booker. We discussed this a couple rounds ago when it was Sixers versus Knicks. The Knicks fans did not seem too thrilled about the idea of giving away, it's just flashbacks of the Carmelo thing all over again. And Starberry and just those instances where you just have these impulse buys by the Knicks that are just like, you gave away everything for this player. Oscar is trying to trigger me, and it's not happening.
Okay. When it does, I don't want to hear anything.
Does Devin Booker leave the Suns, period?
Look, Claxton's a free agent. That's not a bad piece for the Sixers. Even James Wiseman's not a bad pick to be a backup to Embiid.
No, well, I guess not.
And Andre Drummond is a free agent.
Yeah, he doesn't.
People forget he's only 30 years old still, so it's not like
he doesn't do really long-term deals like that. So I knew that he was going to become available.
DeMar DeRozan. There's a lot of free agents, guys. There's a lot of solid people out there this year. You got, of course, LeBron's most likely opting out, but the Lakers are going to give him the Kobe deal, which I don't understand.
Oh. Lakers don't even
Paul
want to
George.
Lakers fans don't want to be a part of this conversation because they're going to back up the Brinks truck for old ass LeBron James just to try to get his son.
Did you see the clip I sent you where they were like,
What?
"Oh, well, of course they should draft. We should talk about Bronny."
Ozuna home run, cha-ching. Sorry.
Did you see that clip I sent you where Perkins is looking? Of all people, Perkins is like, "Why are we talking about a kid who's a second round or maybe not even get drafted?" Well, because his dad is like the greatest of all time, so we should talk about him, and he should get airtime. So he should get air. Perkins goes, so he should get airtime over kids that are really good that are going to get picked in the first round.
You're right, Perk.
He goes, what?
You're absolutely
He
right.
goes, what does LeBron James' career have to do with Bronny being picked?
Dog, you can get this kid in the second round,
or you get him undrafted.
Or just like there's talent out there, bro.
If a team is drafting Bronny, it's because they have hopes that they're going to sign LeBron.
Yeah, it's politics.
The Lakers need depth, and they're going to waste a draft pick just so they can keep LeBron. Stop.
It's politics.
I mean, it's Paul George, Klay Thompson, Tobias Harris, James Harden, Pascal Siakam, Gordon Hayward, Kyle Lowry should just retire, DeMar DeRozan, Buddy Hield, Bruce Brown, Evan Fournier, D'Lo is a free agent who's he just gets the shit tossed to him because he's the one that gets blamed for LeBron and the Lakers' shortcomings.
He moves around a lot. He's sort of become a journeyman.
OG, the Knicks OG is a free agent. He's going to be sought after. There's a decent amount of nice people that are available, man.
Oh, let me read this comment from
Malik Monk.
Julio, Jalen Brunson taking a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal to give the Knicks funds to build around them. So he's definitely all in for the Knicks. Smart move, good move on both parts. I like that. This front office has been more patient in recent years. They're doing things the right way, and I believe they've learned from the Melo era. Not sure what the big move will be, but I know it won't be Carmelo all over again. Klay signs loyalty deal like Draymond did and stays in Golden State. Is Golden State going to be willing to show the loyalty back and pay him $30 million?
Golden State is not going to give him a max deal.
He wants like
bro.
$30 million.
I can't see Golden State giving him a max.
I could see Orlando giving him like 24, 25, close to what he wants.
I'm telling people now.
Golden State wants to move on, dog. Like, Golden State wants to be back in
bro,
they see what's happening.
They had him coming out with the second unit.
The West got younger, and those young teams are going to the playoffs now. Like OKC's there, Nuggets, Mavericks, Timberwolves. Like the Warriors want to get themselves back in the mix with those teams. Like they barely made it into the playoffs with that old group that they have right now. Like they are going to do right by Steph Curry and try to get that man whatever he needs. Does Giannis get traded? Is a Giannis trade going to be like the big splash move of this NBA offseason? I'm not adding it to my bold predictions. It's just one of those things that I'm throwing out there because it's one of those scenarios that sounds crazy as hell, but as the years go by and these contracts start getting to their last couple of years, it becomes a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see him potentially in a different uniform? Like, does he get traded to like the Clippers? Does he go to the other LA team? Because the Los Angeles Clippers, they're watching the Lakers under a microscope, and whatever the Lakers are trying to do, the Clippers are trying to do 10 times more than that because they want to be the dominant team of LA. They may not get far when the playoffs start, but Lord forbid that they lose games to the Lakers. If anybody knocks them out, it won't be the other team from LA. They won't give him a max deal. They'll give him over $100 million. But if they were going to give him a max, it would have happened already. $100 million is a lot right now for Klay Thompson. I'm sorry. There's a lot more happening in the league right now, and you just got to ask yourself if is your team good enough to pay him that type of money when he needs to sit on the bench because he's ice cold? Are you guys going to be good enough with that investment sitting on your bench and rocking with those other 7 guys that you have. Mikey's looking at it more from the perspective of getting the pieces. Of course, the Julius Randle injury happened, and that threw a whole wrench into the equation of what the Knicks could have been and how far they could have gone, and what they're going to look like next year when he comes back and he's healthy, alongside Jalen Brunson and some of the guys like the DiVincenzo's of the world that stepped up in big moments when their numbers were called upon. It's going to be interesting, man. And there's a lot of those types of pieces that are going to be available. And it may not be like sexy sounding pieces, but it could be some older veteran players that aren't going to cost you a lot of money while you lock in your superstar. You go for those low budget guys, some of them that you might have seen in the playoffs. And Dante got $80 million with the Knicks. No way Klay sees anywhere near that next year. What's the over/under on 80 mil, guys? What do you guys think? I'm betting the under on Klay Thompson 80 million. I don't know. I think that it's time for him to take one of those veteran deals and just become a bench piece 3-point shooter for some young team. Because at this point, like you can't be. He's a liability starting him. He ain't playing defense. He ain't locking nobody up. He don't have that anymore. There's a lot of things that he doesn't have anymore, and that's just one of those things.
Yeah.
So what says the public on the over/under of 80 million for Klay Thompson? What do you say? Over/under?
The whole life of the contract?
Yeah, how much you think his Klay Thompson's new deal will be?
I think it'll be like a 2-year deal. Maybe 2 years, like
50?
Like $50 million.
$50 million?
Yeah. I think the first year be front loaded. It'll be almost like an NFL type deal.
That's a Sixers deal right there. They'll make a move like
bro.
that.
I already said they're gonna do something stupid like that.
They'll make a move like that. Oh, our 2 big pieces will be PG, Klay Thompson, and we'll start them both. PG can be our power forward. Bro, give Kelly Oubre the freaking ball so that I can keep betting on him and he can keep.
He only had a 1-year deal.
Oubre? Oh, he's going to be somewhere else next year. I like Oubre. He'll mess around and be like a Pelican or something. I'm hearing from the rumor mill that the Lakers are planning on signing Chris Paul. So it's just like, you guys are killing me, bro.
They enjoy us laughing at them.
You are going to take the oldest version of
I already
Chris
said
Paul
it on this podcast.
over D'Lo?
This will be the last time I say this phrase on this podcast. Jerry Buss has rolled over in his grave.
Like, do they forget that when LeBron and AD were taking nights off together, D'Lo was the one single-handedly carrying this team with like 6 to 7 3-pointers in games? Like, he beat Giannis and Dame the night y'all faced them.
D'Lo should go back to Brooklyn.
Lakers don't know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. They are placating to
LeBron James.
And
their organization, when he finally leaves,
it's the same.
The Lakers
thing.
are going to be in shambles for at least 5 years. After
6.
LeBron James leaves, the Lakers are going to be a lottery team for at least 5 to 6 years.
A very long time. They are.
That's if they still got the picks.
They are going to be worse off than the Cavaliers were. The Cavaliers are.
Look how long it took the Cavs to get right after he.
It's going to take the
played
Lakers
GM,
longer, especially with making a move like bringing in.
There's
Chris
one
Paul.
organization that said no, we run this, not you.
That's Pat Riley,
and that's the Miami Heat. And the Miami Heat are still the only reason the Miami Heat didn't advance further this year is because they were just battered. We all want to talk about injuries. We want to talk about Sixer injuries. We want to talk about Knicks injuries. Ain't nobody was more battered than the Miami Heat.
They gave their all to the regular season, and they had to fight through the play-in, and they had to go through a lot.
So and guess what? Eric Spoelstra still had that team competing.
Lakers are going to be the Pistons in 5 to 10 years. Yeah, and the Pistons are actually on the up and up now. So the Pistons are going to be seeing the Lakers as they're passing by each other. And
Mike, I don't want to hear. Listen, we're not here to play feelings ball today, Mike.
He about to lose Jimmy. It's another name that's being linked to a couple of teams.
We're not here to play feelings ball, bro. Stop.
unless we're talking about one of his teams. We're not playing Phillies ball. The Knicks were down 6 players by the end of Game 7. Oh, Mike. Dude.
We're playing feelings ball right now.
Sunday was crazy, bro. Like, I remember watching the game and being like, yo, the ghost of Reggie Miller. And I could only think about all my Knicks friends. Of course, our group chat was just
I enjoyed
going
it.
crazy. The Philly fans were having themselves a night that night. If you don't know yet, our baseball chat is basically New York versus Philly across the board in everything. So whenever something good or bad happens, you let the other side know about it. And Game 7 Sunday was a big, big win for the Philly side. Knicks lost 4 players alone between the Sixers series and the Pacers series.
Oh,
They did, man. The injuries caught up to a few teams.
We're trying to act like the Heat didn't go through worse.
Jimmy reunites. Well, it just hit them sooner. I don't know if it's better or worse. I just think the injury bug hit the Miami Heat a lot sooner. And by the time the play-in came around, they just, like if the Knicks were down those pieces towards the end of the season, then it could be a different conversation as far as how far they go. Wasn't what was Adebayo? I don't know, but they look like a totally different team without Jimmy. That's like if the Knicks were to lose Brunson, it's just going to be different. We saw what that should look like. Yeah, he went through it during the regular season, and by the time the playoffs started, they just couldn't recover from it. And so, they lost them. Bam played.
There we go.
Mikey's losing his shit right now.
Oh,
they made the play-in, they just lost. But it was just right. Did they? Or no, they won the second game. I'm sorry, I'm getting it all mixed up. The play-in seems like such a long time ago. Oscar said that. I didn't. Oscar said that.
What?
That the Heat had it worse than anybody. I think that it's fair to say that the injury bug hit them earlier than it hit the New York Knicks. If New York Knicks are down a couple of these pieces, then, we're having a different conversation. If we're talking about those pieces going down like the beginning of the regular season. I mean, it counted for the Heat, regular season, like them being hurt, right? Definitely counted for them because it cost them going any further. Oh, boy. There he is. The number one Knicks fan of all Knicks fans, ladies and gentlemen. Eats, breathes, sleeps New York Knicks basketball.
Listen, we can talk about injuries all we want. All I heard was Knicks in 5, Knicks in 6, Knicks in 7. Knicks is home!
Oh, boy. I knew it was only a matter of time, and there was no
We
better
can
time.
talk about my shoulder, my hand, my knee.
Damn, Matt. Okay. Matt with 4 home runs.
Bye-bye.
Good shit,
Bye-bye.
Plata Pluma is hitting the ball tonight as he ties up the home runs. I was at 8, now he's at 8. 4 home runs.
Bye-bye.
Good grief. Oh, there you have it, folks. I can't even read the damn comments. Get this shit off the TV. I can't even read the comments. I don't even know. I know that Mikey's still probably writing in caps.
Yes, he is. I can tell you right. Regular season don't count.
Yeah, I read that.
Knicks got players hurt at the worst. Everyone knows regular season don't count. It don't count for them. They made the playoffs. You brought it up, Mikey Brunson. We beat y'all. Don't matter what you say.
Yeah, they did. They did eliminate the
Chris,
Sixers.
healthy Knicks roster would have ran through the East. Okay. Mikey's still in caps. We sent y'all packing. D thought I get it. I would do the same thing.
I think that a healthy Knicks team would have given a serious challenge to the Boston Celtics. I think a healthy Knicks team wins a game like last night's game that came down to the wire. They just managed to close it out. But shit caught up to them, and maybe Tibbs should rethink playing everybody 46 minutes a game. That's kind of crazy. Like, I know that conditioning wise, you're trying to get them to this point so that they can be used to playing in this, environment. But like, your guys were kind of gassed, the ones that weren't injured. And then, Brunson goes down, and that's just unfortunate. As O-Money is at work right now. He's busy. He's taking over all trolling duties for tonight as I try to push forward. I guess I gotta be Gorilla Monsoon, and you're bothered to bring Heat in tonight. He never warns me about these things.
Nah, I'm just
Knicks' future is very bright. Absolutely. There's a question of, do they fall into old patterns in free agency, or do they play it smart, get some more pieces, build off of the success that they had this year, and get themselves another round further into the playoffs? Oh, man, dude. Good Lord.
Cry me a river. Oh, cry me a river. Oh, cry me a river.
The song dedicated to Britney Spears from JT, a fan of the show, fan of All the Money Sports, trying to get him onto the show. Been trying for a while. We know he's busy.
He just wanted to tell the Knicks fans, cry me a river.
Oh, shit. Anthony Edwards is heating up right now.
Cry me a river.
Anthony Edwards is heating up. Minnesota up 62.
Oscar, I take back my happy birthday.
A belated rescind of the happy birthday. First time in the history of All the Money Sports podcast that someone is unwishing you a happy birthday.
Damn, why didn't I think about...
he definitely triggered you with the Miami comment. The Miami Heat, who would have thought that would have been the one to push you over the top? It wasn't even anything else he said. He didn't even bash the Knicks yet. Besides them getting eliminated or the injuries, it was the Miami Heat having it worse than you.
I'm going to get excited about a team
that's
only made the playoffs twice in the last 5 years, 6 years.
I cannot wait to draft with you guys on Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, bro. And then next year, we can restart and play the game of, okay, who gets to the Eastern Conference Finals first, Knicks or Sixers? The Sixers and Knicks rivalry from this series has reborn itself.
As much as it pains me to see the Sixers lose all the time and get eliminated, when's the last time the Knicks won the championship?
1974.
Oh, okay.
1974, and then 9 years later was the Sixers.
So they've been choking longer.
I mean,
9 years longer. Yeah.
I mean, they've. When's the last time they went to the finals? 99.
What seed was the Pacers?
6,
Oh,
7.
okay. We were 7. They must have been 6.
Indy, bro.
Yeah.
Freaking Indy. Indy not only got here, but they almost won. 1973.
Oh.
So they won 72 and 73. I know Phil Jackson was part of that team. He was.
Maybe they should hire Phil. Oh wait, they tried that once.
Mike, I love you, buddy. If you actually are going to sleep, thanks for being tuned in this entire time. I apologize for this guy's stunt. That wasn't planned. That wasn't part of the script. And hopefully you have a good day at work tomorrow. I know you got to get up early. But yeah, the energy around this Knicks. Look, dude, when the Knicks were in the playoffs, okay, 1970, 1973. When the Knicks were in the playoffs, New York fans, most of them, didn't give a shit about anything else that was going on in New York sports. They showed me that the Knicks and the Giants are truly the favored sons of New York over every other sports team. We had this discussion on the podcast.
So you're telling me they've only made the playoffs 1, 2, 3 times out of the last 10 years? And I'm supposed to feel bad?
30%.
That's Philly this, Philly that?
30% of
At least we're trying to get to the playoffs and trying to compete What have you guys?
Well, you guys
what
make-
did you guys do from 2012
You guys make the playoffs. It's just
to 2000? What was it? 20, 21?
the Sixers-Knicks rivalry is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen.
You're almost as bad as Dallas Cowboy
And
fans.
I am all for it. I am all for it because it's a lot of fun. It was the most fun series. The Nuggets and Wolves was a good series, but just as far as the emotional investment and like the group chat and everything, this was a lot of fun. This series, a whole lot of fun because every night was something that was going on.
Enough. Listen, I am the creator of the Magneto. Enough. Knock it off.
Who gets to the Eastern Conference Finals first? Maybe you guys should make a bet. Maybe the Knicks fans and the Sixers fans should make a bet. Who can
This
get
is
to
us
the Eastern
recovering
Conference
from the
Finals
mellow era.
first.
It took you 10 years to recover.
he said that's not being funny, and the first thing we did was laugh. But it's the truth, bro. Like that's the damage.
It took you 10 years to recover
That's
from
how
mellow.
bad that move was that they made. Like those types of moves can put you in the hole. Like the Sixers wasn't that long ago. You guys were in the lottery making the wrong draft.
Bro,
pick.
y'all got beat in the second round. You're celebrating a second round loss.
You guys,
y'all gonna be doing it too. Listen,
you guys picked Fultz over Tatum, was it, or was it Simmons over Tatum? I don't remember. Simmons over Jaylen Brown, and
Fultz over Tatum Brown. Yeah, well, that was.
So you were center stage, top pick, and just making the wrong choice.
Should have just let Sam Hinkie stay as
and,
GM. Sam Hinkie would have never picked those guys.
It's going to be very interesting because on Sunday is basically the first draft of the season for us. And it's going to be interesting to see who makes the right and the wrong choices.
You guys knew. Listen.
Oh, the Sixers lost on purpose for years.
When from 2012 to like 2021, when the Knicks started the season, they already had the black and white image that said eliminated. So.
Well, they do have the elimination of you guys to hang over your head for now. Until you meet again. I hope it's like in round 1. I hope you guys play again in round 1 and it's like one of you must go. But I could see a world.
I told you the couch was waiting for y'all.
At least we weren't losing on purpose. Yeah, the Knicks were losing because they just weren't good enough. But honestly, the Sixers weren't that great either. When you think about those losing teams,
who cares about the process?
They had Nerlens Noel.
You guys are about to do something stupid this offseason.
The Sixers had 3 bigs. They had Nerlens Noel. They had Embiid, who was on a massage table and wasn't even ready to play basketball yet. And they had, who was that other cat you guys had? It was like 2015.
Jaleel
Okafor. They had all 3 of those guys. Like,
hey guys,
on the same roster.
I will bet your precious mofongo, Chris. Mikey, I will bet whatever's your favorite dinner. Let's do it. Dinner. We're betting dinners.
Winner, chicken dinner. On what? What are you betting on?
Let's see.
And we know it's Sixers versus Knicks, but are we talking about...
The Sixers will get further than the Knicks next season.
Okay. So we're talking about just getting around further at least, and then, okay. Do you guys take the bet? I'm tired of Mofongo. I don't even want that shit anymore. He's been disillusioned because of the bet that he made with Drew. And, you know,
Drew's never paid up, huh?
He stopped waiting for it. Well, bro, it's hard to get Drew out of the house. You know how it is.
Hey,
the fact that he's making himself available for Sundays for football is a big freaking deal.
So there it is. There it is.
The gauntlet has been laid
down. Are
you
going to accept the bet?
The gauntlet has been laid down here live on the podcast.
Here, write this down. Another bold prediction.
Oh.
The New York Knicks will do something stupid this offseason that involves in a trade.
Oh, Booker? Is that your
It doesn't just have to be Booker. It could be somebody else.
Knicks make a stupid trade. Knicks make a stupid trade. And then we have the dinner bet, which I'll keep this as a cliff note for myself.
Chris has accepted the
dinner bet.
The dinner bet. The Sixers will get further than the Knicks.
I'm writing it down that way. In case a day goes by that nobody's talking about it, I can stir the pot and instigate and be like, what's going on with this bet? And just kind of bring everybody back in to focus.
They are more
Dinner
overpaid. Bro, I can make that
Sixers.
assumption.
Versus Knicks. So PG to the Sixers might be a move to look out for. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. And as we now have the four horsemen as we speak, we got Chuck, we got Shaq, Ernie, and Kenny the Jet right now at the Western Conference Finals. I know that they're at some point going to start talking about the new deal, the new venture. I know that they mentioned a lot of times before they go to commercial, award-winning TNT Sports. Like, they're just reminding people, like, yeah, we won awards on this channel for years. It's going to be tough, bro. Like, hockey is going to take, like, a lead role on that channel because the hockey still does the playoffs there. Or do they reach out to baseball and be like, yo, like, let's work something out? Baseball's hot again. We want, like,
if they do baseball.
Oh, Dukes with a 2-run shot. Good job, Verdugo. It was getting a little scary.
Wow, if they do baseball.
That's a game changer for TNT. That could be an option. They just won another Emmy. Yep. But that's something to think about. It's like the only thing that you could do to recover from such a tremendous loss, because these guys literally became the number one pre and post sports show over anything. I don't watch Fox pregame show anymore until it's like the last 10 minutes before kickoff. I'm not watching CBS. I'm probably watching the NFL Network one because Rich Eisen, they've become the best Monday football one. But for basketball, it's those guys.
Yeah, I don't watch ESPN
Baseball's
NFL Countdown anymore.
Yeah, that's their like brother channel.
If I don't watch NFL Network's pregame, I'm watching CBS's pregame.
Mikey's taking the bet. There you go. Sixers versus Knicks, a rivalry renewed. Who gets further?
Oh, what do I want for it? I gotta start making reservations.
Gets further.
That
could be good because then we can all go out to dinner that night.
I'm gonna have a great dinner at Fazzolari's. They have a great chicken
pizza.
Parmesan.
Try their pizza. There you go. I like it.
I'm looking forward to that meal next year around this time.
I like it. So not only do we have some bold predictions, which was part of the goal.
That's not part of the bet.
Oscar got to take me and Mikey to dinner in the Knicks jersey. Ooh.
That's not part of the bet.
That's a parlay, dog. That's a parlay. You got to parlay it. Unless they're willing to do that in a Sixers jersey and make it spicy.
I don't own a Sixers jersey, but they don't make basketball jerseys in my fat ass size, to my knowledge.
Well, it's because the Sixers are not the most important to me.
I got a Chase Claypool jersey y'all could put on.
They're like fourth.
I got a Kenny Pickett jersey I can make y'all wear.
You like the Pens more than you like the Sixers, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so the Sixers are fourth in your.
Should make y'all wear a Sidney Crosby jersey.
Jesus. All right, so we got Knicks making a stupid trade.
I'll give you something from the 2 for $25 menu. Relax. No.
Yankees.
If I win, we're going to Fazzolari's.
Yeah, we ain't good.
And I'm getting a chicken Parmesan meal.
And I'm looking for an excuse to go to Fazzolari's.
And you know what?
That would be my excuse.
You know what? I'll be kind. I'll get water with lemon.
This guy. Well, you're going to get heartburn if you have a Pepsi with chicken parm. So
that's why I'm going to go water.
You got to mix.
That or a glass of wine.
You got to compliment your meal. So real quick, just to run down.
Think about it. Oh, and that bread they serve with the little olive oil and cheese and all that. Oof.
I get too caught up in the seafood pasta dishes to try anything else new there, but maybe I'll dabble.
Oh, the chicken parm's amazing. And their pizza's good too.
So far, real quick, we all know that everybody's back, or most people are back at OTAs. Keaton Mitchell, knee, won't be available for week 1.
I just ate half a pie pizza.
It's sleepy time.
Listen, I've seen Elon eat a hole.
The other day, I was in the group chat with you guys, and I had ordered some pizza, and it just, as soon as it got there, I knocked back like 3 slices, and then I went and sat down on my recliner, and I was just like, because I ate them standing up, dude. I opened the box right in front of me. I don't even think I told the girls that the pizza had gotten home. I just opened the box and just went to freaking town.
This cat was eating pizza like Andy over the sink.
Like a rat. Yeah, seafood fried diavolo. I had that. That's one of the dishes I had as far as the seafood pasta. No, I didn't make it anywhere, bro. I didn't turn my back on the box of pizza until I had the third slice, and then I walked downstairs and went straight to my recliner and pushed that mother effer back, and was just like, ooh, my chest. Took a swig of my Gatorade and just was ready for a nap, bro. But we got Michael Pittman, knee, expected to be fine. Leonard Williams, absent from voluntary OTAs Wednesday. DK Metcalf, sidelined from voluntary OTAs Wednesday.
What?
Didn't specify. AJ Barner, hamstring, still sidelined. Okay, we got folks. Talk tomorrow. Good show.
He clearly said it, not today, but I gotcha.
Oh man, it just makes the Sixers-Knicks rivalry even better. Have a good night, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Woo!
I'll see you Sunday, man. Looking forward to it. Jerome Baker, wrist, still rehabbing.
He's a good
Abraham
piece.
Lucas, targeting return in training camp. Damn, Seattle has a lot of injuries already. Like, they're already starting their bullshit. Alex Backman signs with the Raiders, wide receiver. Patrick Lard waived by Bucks. Ernest Brown signs with the Buccaneers. Marquise Brown building nice chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. Ashton Dooley, knee, not practicing Wednesday. Xavier Worthy, hamstring, out, not practicing Wednesday. Jelani Woods, hamstring, OTAs Wednesday. Devontae Smith, not at OTAs Wednesday. This is all just from today. Bijan Robinson, ankle, could practice in minicamp. Vlad McConkey taking majority of first-team snaps in the slots. Deshaun Watson not throwing at practice, shoulder. That's an interesting one. Still getting paid a lot of money. Still having some shoulder issues. The fact that he's not throwing right now is something to monitor. Christian McCaffrey, not concerned. Well, Kyle Shanahan, not concerned by the fact that Christian McCaffrey is currently absent from OTAs. Naheem Hines, ACL, expected to be ready for training camp. Any more notables? Josh Jacobs, dealing with a hamstring injury. This was posted 11 hours ago. So Josh Jacobs, dealing with the hammy.
Again?
Is my boy Marshawn Lloyd, the rookie I drafted, going to be seeing some burn sooner than later? I don't know. Minka Parsons expected to report to Cowboys camp next week. And Sauce Gardner shadowing opposing wide receiver ones this season potentially. And Kyron Williams won't participate in OTAs because of his foot. That's a quick rundown. Of course, now that, basically it's time for training camp, I'm going to be giving you a rundown of the day's events in training camp. Wednesdays are a very active day in the football world. Of course, waiver wire Wednesday during the fantasy football season. Waivers on Wednesday mornings. That's when you get the players you put the waivers in for, and you finally get to see your side-by-side matchup for the opponent that weekend.
Yeah.
So, not only is it big for podcast night, but Wednesday is going to become huge for all the football news that's happening. Because, of course, when you play Dynasty football all year long. Also, Justin Fields happy with landing spot and plans to compete for QB1.
2 RBIs down. Yeah, Russ has got the job.
Do you think he keeps the job the entirety of the season?
I do.
Do you think he plays well enough to keep the job?
I think he does. Russ is on life support. This is it.
Well, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because
sometimes it brings the best out of somebody like that, and this is not a bad team. I've always been of the status that I don't think Sean Payton's as good as a coach as Mike Tomlin.
Well, he just had it out for Russ. Like Payton,
from the rip.
Payton's a good coach, but this was a personal thing that he had against this guy.
Is it just not me, or was I the only one that thought that? We even talked about it on this podcast last year.
I don't even know if it was about football, dude. Like,
he went in there with like an agenda.
Yes.
Like he didn't even give the guy a chance.
Payton's a good coach. You had the the whole thing about.
And I don't know how to look at Payton right now because you went to Bo Nix, bro. You tied your job status to Bo Nix.
And he's going to be getting thrown to the Wolves, Bo Nix, because, like, who else you got? Like, you're going to start Zach Wilson week 1? That's basically like you saying, okay, we're going to suck this year. Get ready. Or do you throw the rookie out there and say to yourself, because he gives them the best chance to compete. He does. He's the rookie. It's a rough situation to be a part of. You really don't know what they're doing. They got rid of Jerry Jeudy.
I think it's possible, though, that Russ could get hurt. He could be playing well enough that the team keeps winning, but maybe he gets hurt and Justin Fields comes in. You get a couple explosive plays on the ground with his feet, and maybe he could lose a job because of injury. Mm-hmm. That's always a possibility.
True. That does happen. You get hurt, depending on how severe the injury is. Next man up steps in and performs well in the system. It should bring out the best in both of these guys, the fact that they're competing for that number 1 spot. And, like, every Sunday, both guys are going to be ready, because Russ...
We're going to find out, if Russ stinks up the joint within the first 2 to 3 weeks, they don't have no real financial obligation to him.
I don't know if Arthur Smith would know what to do with a guy like Justin Fields, whereas the play-action offense that Arthur Smith wants to employ is perfect for Russ.
Uh-huh.
It plays into Russ's strengths, so by default he might look better. Whereas Justin Fields opens up a whole world of possibilities with all the different things he can do. Like, yeah, he can do the play action, but he becomes a running back once you yell hike, and he can break for 80 yards. And that's not something that you can account for. Because, yeah, you can QB spy a guy, but when a guy's fast enough, he's going to outrun whoever you put the spy. Like, it don't matter. You know what I mean? You can QB spy a guy, but if you ain't ready to tackle the quarterback, then it's just your linebacker getting burned on every single play by a quarterback that knows he's fast, that knows he can run, and that knows that your defense may or may not have a game plan to stop something as basic as a quarterback running. There's a lot of teams out there that they can't figure that shit out. Lamar Jackson thrives off of the fact that a lot of teams don't know what to do.
Talking about Lamar, this man lost more weight and he's down to 205.
205?
Like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh.
You need your weight. This is a job where you got 3 new offensive linemen. Like,
I don't know.
I'm going to stay away from him in fantasy this year.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere?
Yeah.
Not even going to give it a shot? Interesting. We're already putting our official do not draft list, but it could be a swerve. That's the problem with us doing it because of all the leagues that we have.
The moment I read that he lost weight because he wants to be quicker,
The Yankees win.
All it takes is him to get popped in the backfield one time. Like, a guy like that, he was fine where he was. Last year he played at 215.
Is this just Pittsburgh?
I personally, no. I think Lamar needs to be at least 220, 225. He'll still be fast. He'll still do his thing. You need to wait to take the shots. You got 3 new linemen, 3 new offensive linemen. And who's your real running? Like, I get Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, dog.
But I want to see how Derrick Henry fits with Lamar. Like, I feel like that's going to – we'll see.
Dude, he could
I'm not worried.
Season. He could have a good season, bro. And it's crazy because, the Ravens usually always have a couple of young running backs rostered, but the problem is their young running backs are always hurt. So Derrick Henry might end up being the most durable running back that they have available through the entirety of the season. Like, when push comes to shove, because I draft them all the time. Every Ravens running back goes down.
Yeah, that's another thing.
And
I'm done picking Ravens running backs.
Their most durable.
No disrespect to King Henry.
Their most durable running back was Gus Edwards, and now he's in LA.
Could you imagine Derrick Henry starts to get hurt now? Then it's just a Baltimore thing.
Yeah, it's something you guys are doing then at that point, because he had one major injury and a few scraps and some nights off that Rabel gave him, because a lot of times we didn't need him when we were playing like an NFC team or something. But other than that,
and I've already
been an Iron Man.
I've already predicted T. Higgins ain't signing that deal until the Sunday after that third preseason game.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. You're gonna pay him. I don't know what you're bulking at, but you've lost a lot of players in a short span of time, Cincinnati, and you gotta sign T. Higgins. I don't even know who their wide receiver 2 would be if T. Higgins wasn't there.
They can't afford to sign him and Jamar Chase. It's that simple.
Well, they better figure it out. Put yourself in debt for it, because that's your bread and
butter.
butter.
If you do that, you hurt your defense in the long run.
That's something that they've shown that they're willing to do. They already lost their best corner. Hendricks said, "Get me out of here." they are willing.
Hendricks has still said, "I want a new deal."
They know they're not getting.
He's shown up, but he wants a new deal. Like so, it's just that that
I need to.
My leg doesn't feel too good. I think
I'm not. NFL, one hit can take anyone out. Just do what the Saints been doing. Just go. Not even look at their. They don't even look at their credit history or their credit score. The Saints know they're in the negatives, and they're not going to argue about it. They're not going to discuss it with you. They're not going to try to make you think otherwise.
It's crazy that they keep doing what they're doing.
We are broke.
You keep eventually
are broke.
You got to pay the piper.
They keep loaning money, or they keep asking for loans from the piper. Like, I don't know how you can be net minus $80 million with that roster. Because when the year resets, you guys are in the negative.
Well, they're paying the price for the Drew Brees deals.
Like, dog, we all get a surplus of money after every year.
Saints can't even get approved for a 93 Civic.
Like, what the hell, bro? And we've made some dumb-ass deals in the last couple years. Like, we gave Bud Dupree $85 million. We have given money to people, and, whether it's injuries, whatever the case is, it has not really panned out. But we got a lot of money, so I don't know what the hell it is that they're doing out there. But nonetheless, the news is going to start pouring in. The rumor mill is going to continue to buzz. Next week, we'll have a little bit of a discussion of how the online draft went, and we will be talking about our rosters.
I don't want to hear shit about auto pick.
Can we, like, if I was to screenshot my football team, send it to you, will we be able to upload it onto here and then post it onto the camera? So what we'll do is we can have some fun with this. This is something that we've never done on this podcast. Whoever's listening, like Chris, I know you're listening right now. Once we're done drafting, screenshot your football team and then send it to myself or send it to O Money. And then we'll put it on the screen for next week's podcast. We'll cover it over our faces like we did with the Mikey picture, and we'll just break down teams. We'll talk about teams because we're gonna have a lot of time to do that over the summer, so we can have a nice little dynasty dissection for our Kingpins dynasty teams that we draft. Just something different, something to throw out there and get people to, because I know we'll post it in our group chat. You know what I mean? But that way, like, the viewers can get a look at our rosters.
Bro, they're just paying people to pay people.
It's the
I'm looking at the Saints. Next year, Kamara's cap number is $29 million.
Bobby Bonilla type shit.
For 2025, not 2024.
104. Interesting pick. I'm at the 103, so I picked right before you. So, and it's going to be very interesting because I think Dooley at 101 is going to shake up the draft board. I just have a weird feeling, dog, that it's a one quarterback dynasty league with two flexes. Get ready to see some wild shit happen at the top of the draft is all I'm going to say. Because I already have my own plans. I don't know what Dooley's thinking, but I kind of have an idea of what he's thinking. And I don't think it's going to be the player that you expect to go 101 this year, especially after what we saw last season. Last season showed us that just because you're projected to be the 101, that shit don't mean nothing. And that ain't going to help you get into the playoffs. Bobby Bonilla even got a Saints deal. And come July, what is it, July 30th? Is it Bobby Bonilla Day? Or is it early in July? I forgot when it is, but it's coming up.
July 4th, I think it is. July 1st.
July 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day, and we will celebrate it in the forum, and we will remind Mets fans how stupid they are when it comes to spending money. They spent a lot of money this year on the roster they have, and it's just I just watched them blow a game against the Guardians. I was texting my mom. My mom's a Mets fan, and I was like, "Damn, you guys are up 3-0." Giving her props, and she was like, "About time." And next thing you know, Guardians are up 6-3. I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. I just should have kept my mouth shut."
Bad time to be a Mets fan.
Yeah, it's July 1st, so yeah, we'll do that. We'll draft on Sunday on next week's podcast, along with finals update and everything else that happens during the week. We will have our teams ready and we'll post them. People can go over them, give their thoughts. If you guys are doing Dynasty League drafts, which, this is the Dynasty draft season, and you have drafts coming up and you have your drafts finished, post them in the forum. That's another tradition that I've been trying to get going for the last couple of years. Every year I see more and more posts of lineups, and a lot of times when I have the time, I like to comment on each one. I like to ask questions like because I love talking fantasy football. Like I love the strategy behind it. So I love to just have those conversations of like, what was your thought process like with your first overall pick? And then like from there, like what were you thinking as you were building? Because sometimes it gets harder the deeper you get into the draft. You have an idea of who you want, and you see those big names, and you can't walk away or ignore those big names, and then you're faced with challenges sometimes. Sometimes we forget that we didn't draft a wide receiver or a quarterback in a 2-quarterback league like this guy. Or like me in Dynasty, where I waited until round 15 to get Matt Stafford. Which
that shit ain't happening this year.
Well, this year it's a 1-quarterback league, so the urgency to draft a quarterback right away is different than in our 2-quarterback leagues. And as we get closer to draft season, we'll be talking about those differences.
Real intense, real quick.
69-68. Now a tied ball game between the Timberwolves and Dallas as Cat sinks the free throw.
Man, RJ might be lucky. Maybe both his teams win championships back-to-back years.
That'll be crazy.
First Jokic, then Luka,
Can't lose. Well, one of his teams got eliminated, so was there ever a good time to be a Mets fan? In the 80s. In the 80s, they only got one championship out of it, but the 80s is when the Mets could say they were the best baseball team in New York, because in the 1980s, the Yankees were
terrible.
Just an utter disaster. A disaster, and it trickled into the early 90s.
QB should always be your first pick. What a three.
In a lot of our leagues, are QB friendly. So when it comes to getting your points, hey, if you want to just take that shot for that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, I can't knock you for it.
Listen,
because they're going high no matter what.
I have no pick in the first round.
That documentary is good, bro. It's a good documentary. It's crazy.
My picks are, I got an extra pick in the second and third round, so we'll see what's available then. If the starting quarterbacks are starting to go on that span, I may have to jump the gun, which I don't want to. But I got my sights set on my skill position players.
And this is your second Dynasty startup draft. So it's like we're going into it, knowing what we learned from the previous Dynasty drafts for year one. Having our draft picks for the next few seasons.
I have my team set up, bro, from the last, I'm still mad we had to end that.
Yes, they can.
With Bijan, Sam Laporta. I also had Ferguson. I had Kelsey. Josh Jacobs going to Green Bay. Oh.
Could have been you and me in the championship, bud.
Josh Allen, I would have had such a squad again this year.
I gotta send that picture to you too, the final score of that one, so that you can post that. I'll send you the one of my score against Noli last week too, so we can post that one.
Oh,
we're gonna have a nice group of pictures off the side when it comes to
I've won every
visual effects.
Every baseball fantasy matchup except Mike's.
First 4 or 5 picks, I usually go skill position.
Mikey's the only person that beat me in category wise.
In 1-quarterback
but right
leagues,
now I'm neck and neck with freaking Terrell.
In 1-quarterback leagues, I've adopted that same method because I've come to realize that in 1-quarterback leagues, the quarterbacks that could help win me leagues, I can still find in rounds 8, 9. and flesh out the rest of my team, especially going into it, because you have to always know, it's important to know what the format of the league is, because that alters the draft strategy. The fact that we're starting 2 flex positions, which means that you could start 4 wide receivers or 4 running backs or 3 tight ends, like you could employ all sorts of different types of strategies, which means I bulk up on the skill position players at the top of the draft, and as I work my way down, depending on who I picked at the top, sort of like when I went and grabbed Dak Prescott to stack up with CeeDee Lamb. Like, you guys knew I was going to do that. You saw it coming before it happened, and then it happened. It's just one of those things where it's like I'm looking for the most value, and it's something I didn't understand my first couple of years doing this, but it's like I'm trying to gain the most value, and then I'll go for one of those quarterbacks that can potentially give me the points as one of the big names, because guys, like, not for nothing, there was a lot of weeks where Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen weren't really winning anybody's shit this year. Like, Patrick Mahomes was pedestrian a lot of weeks in fantasy football this year. Divisional strength, a good wide receiver, and a weak. Okay. Yeah. And that's like adopting a strategy that you use for your week-to-week matchups for your drafting, depending on how much knowledge and information you have beforehand. When you know the team schedule coming up, the strengths and weaknesses, the strength of schedule, looking at all that stuff and being able to more or less analyze, like, okay, like, this is what I'm looking for. That's a great strategy to use. Whatever strategy leads to you winning a championship is a foolproof plan. There's some risks that I take that you wouldn't. And there's some things that you do that I would look at like, damn, I wouldn't think that. But it's one of those things where different strategies are what make leagues. That's what makes leagues great. Somebody's going to be right at the end. You know what I mean? And somebody's going to get red hot and just mow down the competition and get themselves a championship. It's all money ball with me. Brad Pitt. Mahomes definitely underwhelmed in fantasy, especially because you're drafting Pat Mahomes in like the second round, and this is in one quarterback leagues. 2 quarterback leagues, he's a top 3 pick. So if you're in a 2 quarterback league and you're going up against a combo that can like light you up, like how Tua last year, like let's say you're going up against Tua Tags and like Jared Goff, that's tough. Like, because those are 2 offenses that for the most part this year they were going off, bro. Of course, like Jared Goff is getting those secondary QB numbers, but still, like, if your QB2 ain't matching what he's got, then it's like your numbers all down the board are skewed. Like, you got to be able to keep up. Wasting a first pick on that would piss me off. Yeah, I'm a little weary with certain guys because of the fact that I have so many of you guys in my leagues. I'm not going to say who's on my do not draft list just yet.
That's exciting news.
Oscar's showing me a pic of X-Men 97 Season 2, which is they're talking about potentially releasing Season 2 at the end of 2024, which I would not object to. You give me some November, December football, and I get a little bit of Nostalgia Mania action too. Hey, I'm all for it. And also,
sense.
to piggyback off of that, I read today that WandaVision Season 2 is going to be in the works for 2026.
Really?
Which means...
But I thought Wanda died in the cave.
They're holding off on it because I feel like she's going to make another appearance at some point, which maybe one of the 2025 Secret Wars or Avengers. She's going to end up being in that movie. She's going to make a cameo somewhere down the line. And from there... we won't see her until we get WandaVision. Bro, Yankees just won 7-3. What are you talking about, bro? Relax. You guys are number 1 on that side. We're number 1 on our side. The Orioles lost today, and that's all that matters until we deal with you punks in July. So just get yourself ready. The New York-Philly rivalry is renewed, and it's trickling into every single sport. I can't jump in when it comes to the Eagles versus the Giants. I try to leave the group chat whenever that discussion starts happening because I don't really have a dog in that fight, but I would pick Eagles money line. Just saying.
Want me to say it? The best team in baseball is the Red Pinstripes.
You're the best team in the National League. Until you beat us, you ain't the best team in baseball. You guys beat the Yankees, I'll call you the best team in baseball. And there's a lot of teams that are kind of flying under the radar. Like we just beat a Seattle team that, bro, they're pretty good. They're number one in the AL West, which I'm not sure who predicted that. And on top of the fact that they won all those games with not much run support, just straight off of pitching, like they're on top in that division. We're talking about a division with the champs, the Texas Rangers, the Astros. You know, the rest of them don't matter. Because
there's no Giants equal mierda.
Yeah, I'm not getting in that one right now. I'm just like Yankees and Phillies, bro. I'm ready for July. I'm excited to go July 29th and the 30th, back-to-back days, rocking different Yankee jerseys. I might sport my hoodie for one of them. And this might be my outfit. I'm already wearing what I'm probably going to be wearing in July.
That's going to be a hot day for you.
Oh, yeah, it's July. Maybe not go with the black. Maybe go with the white pinstripes, short sleeves, and you know, comfortable night. Yeah, right. So I'm alone out here, pulling out the Mariano jersey. There we go. It's gonna be a good time. I might mess around and order my Soto jersey before that, so I could just rock my Soto jersey because it's like he has my name, so it's just I should have that jersey already.
Customized jersey.
It already exists. I don't mind the number 22. That's a cool number. But yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for Sunday. I'm excited for next week because we already have like something new that we can do. Dynasty dissection. First time ever on this podcast. We're going to break down lineups. And that's something that we can do in August to September, closer to fantasy football season for the redraft leagues. We can show people our On the Money Sports teams. We can show people our Sick Picks teams. And just...
Speaking of which, anybody who's watching this, well, y'all should be. On the Money Sports draft positioning, draft order, July 3rd.
July 3rd, here we go.
Live on the podcast, July 3rd. Everybody will know where they're drafting. In the OTMS League. The defending champion. It feels so good.
So you're saying we'll be live here.
Yep, we will live here.
The lottery picks.
Picking the lottery picks. Anybody in that league that wants to be here live
for the podcast,
for the drawing, you are more than welcome to.
And not just for the drawing, come through and give your hot takes for the NFL season that night. While we're picking names, take all the camera time, push us out of the way. Cut your promo, put yourself over, and talk about what you play some feelings ball. It's your opportunity to take over the podcast and just be able to sit down here and tell us why your team is going to win the Super Bowl this year.
I'm about to make a paper mache Power Ranger helmet for Ranger Suarez if I get to go to a game this year when he starts.
The picture of Andrew's face on the Power Rangers is pretty amazing.
There's one, I didn't see that.
It's his profile picture for the baseball league. Yeah.
Mikey Brunson.
So yeah, man, that's pretty much what we have for tonight. We ran a little long, but there was a lot to discuss. It'd be like that sometimes. We appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Appreciate you, Chris, Paul, other Chris, Mike D, Rob earlier. Drewski, if you're still watching right now, Noli, who was watching at the baseball game, Eric, who was at the baseball game, tuned in. Like, you guys are really helping us to, like, taking it back to a phrase from Vince Russo in the 90s. Like, you guys are really helping our ratings go up each and every single week. We're getting more views each and every single week. I'm not having to share the podcast as much to get those views. You guys are just looking for us, and you're sitting with us and talking to us, and
that's what matters. And
thank you so much.
Because I know there's so much you could be doing for your time right now.
Yeah.
So you spending your time with us means everything to us.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it just lights a fire in us. It's for us to be
better
able
content,
to put more content.
We do
out
plan
there.
on listen. It's the summer. Summer's coming up. We're going to be doing some special,
There's going to be a
topics.
lot of nostalgia mania over the summer.
And weeks leading up to those episodes, I'm going to hit some of y'all on the side, see if you want to come on the show and talk that certain subject.
Let's talk about it. What, SummerSlam?
Nah. We could talk about the King and Queen of Ring this Saturday at 1.
AEW.
In Saudi
AEW.
Arabia.
AEW. I know the entire AEW roster is going to be watching in Saudi Arabia. Tony Khan makes them watch.
I can make a better match.
Is he still wearing the neck brace?
He hasn't been seen on TV.
Dog, it's because he's training to wrestle. He's training to take bumps, and he's going to be in a match.
We're going to get the classic
5-on-5. It's going to be 5-on-4.
We're going to get the classic match, the classic storyline. He's here.
Dog,
go, 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 go.
Dog, we are going to get a storyline of 5-on-4, and you know who the fifth man is going to be? It's going to be Tony Khan.
Where he turns heel and joins the people who pile drove him.
And he's going to get the pinfall. You bashed Vince Russo for putting the belt on himself.
Gotta open my pool this Saturday. I'll catch the rerun. Yeah, I'm going to be at the toy show, so I'll catch it afterwards, too.
Word. Oh, opening the pool. It's about that time. It's going to be good weather, bro. It's good shit. Sounds like fun, man.
Memorial Day weekend.
So everybody, man, enjoy your weekend.
For those who got a 3-day weekend, rest up. Y'all earn those days.
I got Sunday off, and that's all that matters to me. I don't mind working the other days because I know it's going to be money. People love Applebee's, bro, especially on a holiday. So I'm going to rack up on the money the other days. Sunday, I'm going to be doing what I love to do, though, so I'm not mad at it. Time with family and friends. And wish that everybody out there takes the time to do the same because life is short, and you need those people in your life. That's what makes the world go round, bro. So until then, guys, I'll see a lot of you in the forum. I'll see some of you for sure in the group chat. And the rest of you, I will see next week, same time, same place. Paul, thanks for everything tonight, bro.
It's clobbering time. Have a good weekend, guys. Stay safe. Don't do anything.